Hey guys, Donnie RightSide here, Bookmakers Review. Are you ready for the NFL season coming up? I understand we still have a couple months before we see kickoff between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, but now we can make some assessments on the season. Why? Because we've watched free agency, we've watched the draft, and we've watched the schedule release, so now you have a good idea of what to expect from most of these football teams. Now granted, players are still going to change some teams, injuries will happen over the summer, but with the schedule layout, you can see the difficulty as we anticipate some of the schedules out there. Now, granted, there's 17 games in a regular season. Some teams have the advantage of 9 home games. Some teams have the disadvantage of only 8 home games, something to keep in order, as well as teams that are going to play their Thursday night game on the road. That certainly makes a big impact. And also when and how you play some of these divisional teams. So if we're going through the scheduling here, and also keeping in mind what happened last year, sometimes you want to take a look at the best teams in the NFL and try to fade them the following year. Because as we know in the NFL, it's all about parity. The worse of a football team you are, the more the NFL is going to help you out the next season, which means an easier schedule and a higher drafting position. That's why we're going to focus on the San Francisco 49ers. So quite frankly, I bet in the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl over the Kansas City Chiefs. They weren't able to get that done. An exciting game, but they came up small. And there is something to the hangover that you get from a Super Bowl championship team going into the next season and a Super Bowl losing team going into the next season. So let's take a look at the San Francisco 49ers team total at 11.5 and why we're going to go under. Now, I just told you during a 17-game schedule, some teams have the added benefit of getting a 9th home game. The San Francisco 49ers actually have that. That is in their favor. But did you know, since we're taking a look at rest days now, because there's 17 games, there's bye weeks, there's a lot of travel, the 49ers have a disadvantage of 21 rest days against their opponents coming up in 2024. Rest is the ultimate advantage. And also talking about who are you playing on the road on Thursday or are you playing at home? You take a look at this. At Seattle for the San Francisco 49ers on a Thursday night football game. That is a disadvantage. And also, when we're taking a look at a team winning 12 games, 12-5 is a really good record in the NFL. The 49ers next year can win 11 football games and you will still cash in on this ticket. Do I like Brock Purdy? Absolutely. Do I love Kyle Shanahan as a play caller? Yes, I do. But also looking at the division, Arizona's not going to be a doormat anymore. Starting quarterback coming back this year, second year under a new head coach that went out there in Jonathan Gannon from the Philadelphia Eagles as their defensive coordinator. You have a new coach in Seattle in Dan Quinn to sort of take the reins of that defense. They should be much improved. And also, years and years of not having any draft picks caught up to the Rams. Well, not necessarily. They now have draft picks and still have Matthew Stafford and look to be a certainly imposing process out there on the West Coast. So we're going to take a little bit of a downgrade here on the San Francisco 49ers for 2024. We're going to take them under the team total of 11.5 games. I'm Donnie RightSide for Bookmakers Review, and as always, good luck on those wagers.